Hello everyone, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. As you all know from my multiple posts this week, this Saturday is Dance Marathon. I'm so excited and nervous, but I wanted to make this video to tell everyone why I do Dance Marathon. Some of you probably don't know what Purdue University Dance Marathon is, but it is the largest student-ran philanthropic organization on Purdue's campus, and we raise money all year long that goes to Riley Hospital for Children in Indianapolis. More specifically, the money goes to the Herman B. Wells Pediatric Cancer Research Center, and $100,000 of it goes to the Child Life Zone in the hospital. The Child Life Zone in the hospital is for children to feel as if they're not in the hospital and as if they're not going through an illness. So I am making this video today because it's Wednesday, and Wednesday's a perfect day for What's Your Why Wednesday. This is my third dance marathon. My freshman year, I decided to be a dancer, and I posted in a group me for my floor, and I asked if anybody wanted to be on a team. I didn't really know anyone, but 3 girls did sign up to be on a team. Seeing the total at the end of the marathon just completely changed what I thought about it. I thought I was just joining it to do something, be part of something, but it actually just had such a big impact on my life that I wanted to continue to do it. So the next year, my second marathon, I signed up to be a committee member, and I was placed on PR, public relations, and having a little bit more responsibility just made me love PUDM a little bit more. And so this year I am thankful to have had the opportunity to be Promotional Week's chair. I got to plan 2 special weeks full of events, one in the spring semester and one this past semester. I'm so happy how everything turned out. Being a chair, our goal is $1,700, and if you visited my page, I'm at about almost 900, so just barely halfway to 1,700, and I know that I can do way better than that. So yes, I'm kind of making this video for each and every one of you to be inspired or even consider making a donation. Not expecting anything big. Any little donation you literally have will be so greatly appreciated. And if you're watching this and have already donated, thank you so much. No matter the amount that you've donated, you have no idea the impact that you're helping make. We have set high goals for ourselves this year for PUDM, and I hope by noon on Sunday, when the numbers come up, that we have reached those goals. So if you would like to donate, my link is going to be on the comments above this video. But I don't want you to donate now. I want you to listen to my story and why I do Dance Marathon. So before I get heavily into details, I haven't told this story to very many people. Of course, my immediate family knows everything, but friends and people at Purdue, people in high school, don't completely know what had happened to me. I'm thankful to be completely healthy now, but some of the stuff that I might say could be a little gross. So just beware of that and bear with me. In the 4th grade, I was like 9 or 10 years old, And I noticed after a couple days, like, I was having constant cramps. And I played softball like all year round during this time. So I was just like, oh, it's just like a body cramp, it's gonna go away. And then about a few days later, one time, like, I was using the bathroom and I noticed that there was blood. And I told my mom, and being around the age that, like, girls start puberty and their time of their month, that's what we thought it was. So we went to the store and got everything we needed for it. But the cramps didn't go away. So my mom made an appointment right away to go to the doctor's office. And we scheduled an MRI, and then they seen, my family doctor seen something, and he kind of knew what I had, but he didn't want to, like, diagnose it himself. So he sent me, he gave me 2 doctor referrals, one for Rush Hospital and one for Children's Memorial. That's Ann and Lori's Children's now in Chicago. Yeah, my mom instantly took the doctor for Children's Memorial. So it took about 2 weeks for us to be able to get an appointment scheduled with her. We showed her the results of the MRI that my family doctor had gotten, and she kind of had the diagnosis in mind too, but she wanted to get another MRI done with, like, at that hospital, but she didn't have any openings until like a week and a half later or something. Thankfully, my mom and I, like, we ate lunch after her appointment, and we got a call while we were eating lunch saying that there was a room opening in the hospital and that if we can stay that night. So after lunch, we went back to the hospital. My mom had called my dad and told him, and he got some, like, clothes together for us. I don't remember who brought the stuff to us, but I just know we went back to the hospital, and then right away when I got my room, they wanted to put that tube down my nose, like through here, so that they can flush my system with whatever cleaning stuff they use. And so in the next morning, they had gotten the MRIs, and then she diagnosed me with ulcerative colitis. It is a large intestinal disease, an IBD, inflammatory bowel disease. My large intestine was sick, so I couldn't eat beans, seeds, strawberries, like anything that had a seed or could stick to the intestinal line. I could not eat it, which I absolutely hated because I loved sunflower seeds. So then that was fine. I left the hospital a few days after that, and I left with 9 medications to take on a daily basis, some of which were, like, to control my large intestines from inflaming, because that was the problem. Why I was bleeding is because there was, like, scratches on my intestinal line, and that part of my intestine was, like, swollen. So some of the medicine was helping, like, control the swelling. I was taking iron, and I was taking steroids. In 4th grade, 5th grade, everything was fine. I just continued to take the medicine every day. So the start of 6th grade is when it, like, went downhill from there. 3 days in, so we went to school Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I didn't end up going back to school until mid of November. And on October 30th of 2008, I went into the, it wasn't an operating room because I wasn't intentionally going to have surgery, but they were just gonna have one colonoscopy before I left. And then I woke up what I thought was like an hour and a half later, but actually was 12 hours later. I remember myself laying in the recovery room. My mom was at the foot of my bed. My dad had just walked back in the room, and at the moment they didn't know that I was kind of up, and I heard my dad tell my mom, like crying, did she know what had happened? And so I, under my blanket, started like feeling around in my stomach, and I felt like tape, and it was sticky. So I knew that I had had surgery. And before going into the colonoscopy, they did say, well, there's a chance if there's something wrong, you could possibly need surgery, but they didn't think anything was gonna be wrong, and there was. So obviously I didn't get to go home that day. I stayed in the hospital for about 2 more weeks. They took out probably 85% of my colon the first time. And I had to get a colostomy bag, which this is where the gross part comes in. It was very embarrassing, but a colostomy bag is a little bag that is like attached to the side of your stomach, and there's a little piece of your like small intestine hanging out, and that's kind of where you empty your stool. I tried to make myself a normal 6th grader again. I played basketball, and I was covering it the whole time with like spandex and stuff. And then the school year had went by, but in late May I was supposed to get the surgery reversed, so they were going to connect everything back up, everything was going to be back to normal. But I had broken my ankle playing softball, so the surgery had to be pushed back to the end of July. When I went in for that surgery, they found that the remaining part of the colon they left in wasn't completely healed as much as they would have liked it to be. So I had to keep the bag on for a couple more months. And I started 7th grade, and the same routine basically happened. I went to school for the first week and a half, then I was in the hospital, and then the final surgery had happened. They rearranged my small intestine. It took me a little bit longer to heal from this, so it did take a couple more weeks for me to get back into school and to be fully functional again. And then a couple months after I had been what I thought was like fully recovered, my brother actually, like, we noticed he had developed a limp, and it was affecting the way he was playing football, was affecting him playing basketball. So we took him to Children's Memorial as well with a referral from our family doctor, and he was diagnosed with Perthes disease. When your pelvic bone is like out of line with your hip bone, so that's why one of his legs were kind of so shorter than the other. He had to have surgery to fix the bone just to make his legs back to like the same length. Since we spent so much time in the hospital, you can only imagine the amount of hospital bills that we had between the two of us. And because of donations made, our family didn't have to pay for anything, for my brother's, for mine. And I think that is one huge reason why I do Dance Marathon. No, our money doesn't go to pay people's hospital bills, but it does go to the hospital to help find a cure for cancer. It goes to the research center to help find a cure for cancer. So just me being in Dance Marathon, it's like my little way of kind of repaying all the help that was done for me and my family. So basically, like many of us in PUDM and Dance Marathons have said, that we are just one generation fighting for the next. We know that our part is a little bit, but any little bit helps. And so by you making a donation, it is contributing to our little bit of helping find a cure for cancer, helping children have more birthdays, helping them see more tomorrow. Your small donation can also no, your small donation has a huge effect on these families as well, because although the child is the one that's ultimately struggling, the family is behind them, struggling just as much as they are. I want to say thank you to everyone who has already donated and everyone that's considering or going to make a donation after watching this video. If you have any questions about anything, you can message me personally or comment below. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this.